Hello, CCL Sports Cards fans. What is up and welcome back. It is time for my Kraken Cross. Now, clearly, as you can see, I'm not in the studio, aka my office. I am, in fact, in Atlantic City, just days away from my first national. I am so excited. But for now, let's get back to the Kraken Cross. For those that aren't aware, over the course of 3 months, let's say from last October to this February, I selectively purchased about 17 slabs of players I felt were undervalued both in their current slab and as a player. The purpose? To see which of the graders not named PSA, BGS, or SGC may be the most aligned in terms of their grading standards with the big cats mentioned above. Now, given that grading fees were pretty high at PSA and BGS until quite recently, I held and continued to accumulate slabs from CSG, FCG, and HGA until the cost came down, which they have, and then chose BGS to cross, mainly to be able to accurately compare the subgrades. Now, I was very, very eager to get this project rolling because, like many of you watching, I wanted to see if money could be made by crossing cards. I mean, after all, yes, I collect, but I'm in sports cards to make money as well. It was like this when I was 11 years old, and I continued to watch price fluctuations monthly in Beckett, and it remains much the same at age 43. But as I'm sure many of you have experienced, I had one small hurdle to overcome to get the Kraken Cross rolling. I had to crack the slabs. And let me tell you, I spent an absurd amount of time watching videos on how to crack and theorizing, pontificating about which slab I should crack first, but perhaps most important, letting fear talk me out of it. Raise your hand if you've ever let fear get the better of you. Now, thankfully, in asking some questions of my pal Keyson from Pristine Worldwide, I was guided to Mr. Dusty Baker of SubHub. For those unaware, Dusty is known as one of the best in the business when it comes to cleaning and preparing cards for grading submission. He has a very keen eye and an uncanny knack for telling you how your card will grade. He does all of the above very well, as I've come to understand and learn firsthand, but also offers a cracking service for what I consider to be a super low price and an incredible value. So I pressed forward thanks to Dusty, and I reached out to him, and the rest is history. Above my head, right there, is the link Dusty prepared for me, where he meticulously reviews the cards I sent. And he shares some awesome insights and observations and explains how he feels a given condition issue will affect the final grade. It was an awesome education. Now, I will suggest you give it a watch before moving on to the reveal portion. Do note when you watched my actual reveal, it was done blind. And what I mean by this is I had not watched Dusty's comments, as I did not want it to impact my response to the grades I was given. Y'all ready? Let's rock and roll. It is time. Finally, time for the reveal portion of the Kraken Cross. So again, just to review, I sent these cards away back in late February, early March to my man Dusty at SubHub for cracking and cleaning. And as mentioned, I sent them to Dusty because I didn't want to become a professional card destroyer and trying to crack the slabs myself. So let's start off with Emerson Hancock's 2020 Draft Refractor. This card was originally an FCG Gem Mint with a centering 9, corners 9.5, edges 9.5, and surface 9.5. Let's see how we did. Not so good on this cross to BGS. We've got an 8 for centering. Wow, that actually looks a little bit harsh for centering. An 8? Card actually looks pretty reasonable to me. Maybe a 9. But anyways, we came back as an 8.5. We had centering 8, edges 9.5, corners 9.5, and surface 9. So clearly the centering knocked this bad boy back to an 8.5. Yeah, that's too bad. Thankfully, it's not too big of a card. I do like Emerson Hancock quite a bit. And we're going to move on to Bo Bichette's 2016 Bowman Chrome Refractor. Bo was an HGA Gem Mint 9.5, was ranked with a centering 9.5. Corners were a 9, the edges were a 10, and the surface was a 9.5. Let's see how he did at BGS. BGS 9. So this one did not cross either. We've got a centering 9.5. And we've got the edges as a 9.5. The corners are a 9, but the surface really hurt us here at 8.5. So clearly a bit of a discrepancy there. They had the surfaces at 9.5 over at HGA, but this one didn't cross either. So we've got one FCG that didn't cross and one from HGA that did not cross. Next up was our Gilberto Jimenez 2020 Bowman Chrome Gold Shimmer. 30 of 50. That was an FCG 9.5. We had a 10 for centering, 9.5 for corners. The edges were 9.5 and the surface was a 9. Let's see how we did with Gilberto. And awesome, we got a true gem 9.5. 9.5s all across the board. Yeah, even the centering came back a bit, the surface came back a bit better on this one. I actually still like Gilberto a little bit, and nice to see this one cross to a 9.5 true gem. Awesome. Then we get to my man. You guys know I like this cat. We got Alec Burleson's 2020 Draft Red Wave Auto. That was a CSG Pristine 10. So I fully expected this one to cross. Let's see how we did. Wah, wah, wah. BGS 9. Has the centering as an 8.5. I mean, yeah, it's down and to the left. The centering, again, was 9.5 with CSG. The corners were a 10. The edges were a 10. And the surface was a 10. So clearly, centering is not... I mean, it does look like it's down and to the right. I can clearly see that. But I thought it might get a 9. And too bad. But I still like Alec a lot. Having his red wave 1 of 5 is awesome. And, you know, obviously a little bit better of a value being in a BGS slab, in my opinion. But this one did not cross. So far, we've got 1 point for FCG in the cross. So far, FCG has the lone gem mint card that has crossed. Then we get to Luis Matos. And he was an HGA 9.5 with an auto 9. And it was all 4 9.5s for the subgrades. Let's see how we did. BGS 9. Centering 9.5, edges 9.5, corners 9, and surface 9. That is too bad. The auto's not a surprise. Matos' autographs are just, yeah, usually pretty streaky. But, yep, we didn't cross on that one either. So far, it seems like HGA is doing quite poorly with their crossing. And... this one, you guys know I love this guy. Wilder Patino, his purple. It was an FCG gem mint, had really strong subs. Again, I always tried to take cards that had strong subgrades, so it'd be really unlikely that didn't cross, but so far that has not panned out. Wilder's FCG card, again, had 3 10s and a 9. We came in at 9 at BGS for this purple. The centering was a 9.5. Edges still came back as a 10. Corners really sharp 9.5, but again, dinged on surface. It is important to note these cards were all clean before they were sent in, so clearly there was some kind of a discrepancy between what one company considers a 9 surface and what company considers an 8.5 surface. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. We got a 9 for Patino. Still like this card. Yeah, so far not doing too good. So we have 5 cards that have not crossed from their pre-companies in the Kraken cross, and 1 that has crossed from FCG so far. And then we get to another favorite of mine. I had a Maximo Acosta True Blue. It was a CSG 9.5. Had a 10 centering, 9.5 on the corners, 9.5 edges, 9.5 surface. Let's see how we did. Wah, wah. 8.5. Wow, so clearly there's something up with the edges. This is an edges 8.5. It was a 9.5 at CSG. The surface was an 8.5. So yeah, differing opinions on what a good surface is. Clearly that's the biggest thing that's hurt me so far. Yeah, still a nice card. And again, I do like the BGS slabs. I feel I have a little bit more value, but as an 8.5, I mean, that card is just, yeah, that's really too bad. It does get better, folks. We're going with the worst first and the best last. Then we get to the Gabby Moreno base auto. Was an HGA 9.5 with a 9.5 centering, 10 corners, edges 9.5, surface 9. And we came in at a BGS 9. Surface again, 8.5 was the one that really hurt us. Everything else came out with a really nice true gem. We just missed gemming on this card. Really too bad, but BGS 9, not the end of the world. And I still like Gabby. I think it's actually a really great value down here. Like I said in a previous episode, being sent down, everyone's kind of left him for dead. You might have seen that one there as I snuck it in. We had a Justin Foscue CSG Pristine. It had 3 10s and a 9.5 for the surface. Let's see if this one crossed. It did. Justin Foscue's black, 67 of 75. We got 9.5s for centering, edges, and corners. Surface came back as a 9. So not quite a BGS 10 Pristine, but still a nice cross to a BGS Min Gem 9.5. Nice to see that. So we have another card. Let's see, CSG is going to mark it down here, has a cross. And then we've got Kalai Rosario's up next. He was a CSG 9.5 for centering, 9.5 on corners, 9.5 on surface, and 10 on edges. And we came back for Kalai's black with a true gem 9.5. 9.5s across the board. Nice cross. Again, that was a CSG. So as it stands right now, we've got 2 from CSG that have crossed over to Gem BGS and 1 at FCG and 0 for HGA. Really good education here, guys. Great experiment. And next up, we have Kalai Rosario's Gold Wave. It was a CSG 9.5, 9.5 centering, corners 9.5, edges 9.5, and the surface was a 9. How did we do? Very nice. BGS 9.5 with a 10 centering. So that went up. I guess they thought the centering was a bit better than CSG did. And the surface got a 9 originally, and now it's a 9.5. So maybe the cleaning done by my man Dusty there at SubHub made this card a little better. But a true gem plus for this Gold Wave. Kalai is still really young. Great card. Love to see this card gemming out at BGS. Awesome cross. That is 3 points for CSG, 1 for FCG, and none for HGA. Then we've got David Calabresi's True Gold. That was 38 of 50. This card was an FCG Gem Mint. It had a 9.5 centering, a 9.5 corners, 9.5 edges, and a surface 9. So it was a base gem card. Let's see if it crossed. It did, yes. Centering 9.5, edges 10, corners 9.5, and surface 9. So nice meeting the minds there on surface. But yeah, almost a true gem plus. Not too bad. Can't complain. So an FCG gets another point on David Calabresi's True Gold. So it's 3 for CSG and 2 for FCG. 5 cards to go, folks. Here we go. We had Zach Britton. The Blue Jay was an FCG 9.5. This one had centering of 9.5s, or pardon me, sorry, centering of 9, corners 9.5, edges 9.5, surface of 9. And it did not cross. BGS 9, the centering, and you can very clearly see that even with the lighting, it's down and to the right. I really felt like the centering was a bit weak, but you know, being in orange, I wanted to cross this. BGS 9, not the end of the world. 8.5 centering, 9.5 corners, edges, and a 9 surface. So that FCG card did not cross. We get to Garrett Mitchell, who's actually just come off the disabled list in AA for Biloxi. Excited to see him back. Mitchell's refractor was an FCG 9.5 with a centering 9.5, corners 9, edges 10, and surface 9.5. How did we do? It crossed to a gem with BGS. Base gem, but it crossed. Centering 9, corners 9.5, edges 9.5, surface 9.5. Nice to see the refractor. 322 of 499 crossed to BGS. That was an FCG, so we've got 3 for FCG, and we've got 3 for CSG, and none for HGA. Ouch. And then we've got Milan Tolentino's Black. 50 of 75. This was an HGA 9.5 with 10 centering, 9.5 corners, 10 edges, 9 surface. So fairly strong subs. I did expect this one to cross. And it did. It crossed to a base gem card. Very, very nice cross. 9.5s on everything except surface getting a 9. These blacks are always a bit tough. These black refractors. They tend to show a lot of the imperfections, but yeah, nice to see that one cross. That is HGA's first cross. So we've got 3 for CSG, 3 for FCG, and 1 for HGA. Nice to see a cross for HGA. That's good. And then we get to my man here, Jefferson Cuero. This one was the Orange Shimmer 8 of 25. And with Cuero, we had a 9 centering, 9.5 corners, 9.5 edges, 9.5 surface, FCG 9.5. Did it cross? It did. True gem for the orange shimmer. 9.5s across the board. Nice cross. Another point for FCG. Very, very nice. So it's 4 for FCG, 3 for CSG, and 1 for HGA. Last card. You guys know I love this guy. This was a Jordan Westberg True Blue 110 of 150. It was a CSG Pristine 10. Had a 10 centering, 9.5 corners, 9.5 edges, and a 10 surface. It crossed to a true gem. 9.5s across the board. Westberg's just killing it in AAA right now. Anyways, this is a crack and cross. Very nice to see this card crossed. True blue, beautiful card. True gem from BGS. That brings our total to... We've got 4 cards from CSG that crossed. We've got 4 from FCG that crossed and 1 from HGA that crossed. So we're just going to review really quickly here. Again, it looks like FCG and CSG are the winners here, 4 and 4. Although I got to tell you, 9 out of 17 cards crossing is really a poor showing. I'm not very happy with that. But again, it was a great experiment to see which of the other graders really stack up well with the big boys. Good education here, folks. So just to review, the lone card from HGA that crossed was the Tolentino Black. Again, I'm kind of surprised the Burleson Red Wave did not cross. The centering did not look that bad to me, but it is what it is. So 1 for HGA, and then we had 4 from CSG. And CSG is kind of known as sort of the closest in terms of how they grade cards to the big boys. We had Justin Foskew's Black that crossed. And then we had Kalai Rosario's Black. It's funny, all the black refractors crossed. I thought that was the hardest ones. Interesting. That crossed. Again, these are the CSG cards that are now BGS gems. Kalai Rosario's Gold. That crossed. And Jordan Westberg's True Blue. Really not that bad of a showing. These are nice cards. So they got 4 from CSG, and then FCG, who does very good grading. They're generally pretty consistent as well. We got Gilberto Jimenez. His Gold Shimmer crossed. And then we had Calabresi's True Gold that crossed. Hope that kid picks it up. I like David a lot. Mitchell's Refractor that crossed. And then we had Jefferson Cuero who crossed. The Orange Shimmer. That's really nice. Welcome back, gang. Clearly in this case, HGA was not a very good cross candidate with only 1 card crossing. And it got a min gem BGS 9.5 at that. FCG and CSG fared far better, with each having 4 cards crossed. But I think it's important to note that FCG had 7 cards make the attempt, so the cross rate was 57% for FCG. CSG went 4 for 6, giving a 67% chance of crossing, and HGA in dead last at 25% for their cross rate. Not very good. So, while the results of this cross may be disappointing for me for a lot of reasons, it is a great lesson, and should you consider a crack and cross, stick to CSG and FCG. Now, you can deduce that by reading other chats or watching others attempt the same thing, but as it relates to my own money and all of you who watch this platform, I wanted my own evidence. It's empirical, not hearsay or rumors. I saw it with my own eyes, and so did you. What are your thoughts, though? My own thoughts is a couple of the cards were really unfairly judged centering-wise, and to be honest, I felt that was the most easy to understand criteria, and I've always felt that way when I select cards. And when I selected them for this purchase and this crack and cross, I checked centering first. What I mean is, surface can be subjective, and clearly HGA is far more lenient with surface issues. I mean, look at the Bo and the Gabby Moreno cards, but centering? That should not be subjective or debatable as a subgrade. It's a measurement of the borders. So strange. Anyhow, but again, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What'd you think? And thank you for your time and devotion to this platform. Hope to see you all at the National in a few days. Have an awesome week. Built